Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here, finally returning to you for the next album review. This is a new record from Seether's The Surface Seems So Far, their ninth studio record that I got a chance to listen to for myself, see what I was going to think of this 11-track record, which is like 47 minutes of a runtime. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for Seether's ninth studio album, The Surface Seems So Far, and let you know my thoughts on this record overall. So let's dive into this album review. Now it starts with the opening track, Judas Mind, and this was the first single to come out for this record. Great song, by the way. I love Sean Morgan's screams in this track at the bridge part, and throughout the track it just changes and shifts its melody, which sounds really good, and it makes it a really strong track. So this is a 5 out of 5 for sure. This was a great song, definitely worth checking out, and definitely worth listening to. Illusion's a pretty good one too. I started getting used to this track as I listened through this track. It's a pretty strong track for how it sounds, so it's probably one of the only best songs for the record, along with a few others that were alright. So basically I'd give it a 5 out of 5. Beneath the Veil, one of the regular tracks, and keep in mind Illusion was the second single to announce this album's release for September 20th, and it came out about a month ago, and it was a pretty strong track, 5 out of 5. Beneath the Veil, getting back to where I left off, is the regular song for the record, and it sounds really ominous and really good, and I think Sean Morgan's regular vocals sound pretty good in this track, although there are some moments where it feels a little samey with the melody, but it does sound strong for what it goes for. And excuse me, I gotta pause the video for a second. Sorry about that, guys. My mom was calling me for a second. She needed help with something. So Beneath the Veil's getting a 5 out of 5. It's a strong track. I really enjoyed this one, and just the way Sean Morgan's vocals sounded in this track was pretty good. Semblance of Me, I had to listen to this a second time, and I had to give this album a second listen to really determine if I like it or not. But overall, it's a strong track. I don't know what it is, but there were some moments in the track that felt playing it on the safe side, but other than that, the track did pretty much grow on me. So 5 out of 5. Walls Come Down is going to get a 4.5 out of 5. I don't know how I feel about this one, but it's not one of my personal favorites. I was hoping this would have been a little better, but it was a good track, but one of the least favorites for the record. So this is a 4.5 out of 5. Try to Heal is a pretty strong track. I like the drum work in this one. Sean Morgan's vocals sound pretty good in this track. And execution-wise, this track works for what it's going for, so this is a strong 5 out of 5. It took a little bit of time to grow on me, this one. Like I said, I had to listen to this album a second time to determine what I thought of it. So basically, this is a 5 out of 5 for Try to Heal. Paint the World is a pretty good song in its own way. Not one of my favorites. I think the scream vocals in this are pretty strong at the bridge part of the track. And overall, sorry about the background noise. My mom's talking to my sister. So basically, Paint the World is a strong track for what it goes for, and in its own way, it did pretty good. The chorus seems a little samey, like it doesn't really offer a lot, but it tries. It tries, but it plays it a little too safe to where I have my cringy moments through this track with the chorus, but the bridge is the best part. So 4.75 out of 5. Same Mistakes is going to get a 4.5 out of 5. Not one of my favorites. It just seems generic of a Seether track, and it just doesn't go anywhere that much. It's not terrible, it's good, but it's just, I have my critiques with this track for sure, and doesn't really offer that much of a great listen. So 4.5 out of 5. Um, Lost All Control is a strong track. Um, I really enjoyed this one. This seemed like it was getting back on track with the record's performance, but then it comes to a decline towards the end of the record and makes it a little too iffy. But overall, Lost All Control was pretty strong. I like Sean Morgan's vocals in this. And just the execution of the track performed pretty well with the drum work and guitar work, and the melody sounded on point and pretty strong. 5 out of 5 for Lost All Control. Dead on the Vine is going to get a 4.5 out of 5 as well. I'm not crazy about this track that much, but I think it could have been a little better for what I went for. I just have my critiques with this one, so this one's like a 4.5 out of 5. I think it does pretty good when it gets to the scream parts and some good drum breakdowns, but the execution of the track is the main thing. Like, there are going to be some critiques with this track, and some people saying, it's not the best Seether song I've listened to. So 4.5 out of 5. Regret is going to get a 4.25 out of 5. I'm not a huge fan of this track. As the closing track, it's not a great closing track, to be honest. It's above average, but it could have been a lot better for what it went for. Sean Morgan's vocals didn't really offer much, and there was maybe one or two scream parts that were pretty strong that made the track get over a 4. But other than that, this track didn't offer me much, and it felt like a snooze fest to get through with some moments in the track. Not to say it's terrible in any way, it's just hit or miss. So 4.25 out of 5. Overall, production, mixing, and execution-wise, I was highly expecting this record to be something strong, and when I listened to the final product for each song, there were a few songs I liked, like Beneath the Veil, Judas Mine, Illusion, Semblance of Me, Try to Heal, and Lost All Control. Everything else is kind of a little too samey with its melodies and choruses and all that. It just didn't offer a lot, this record. And I think the last record, Civis Pacum Parabellum, or whatever that album's name was, the 8th studio album, if I said it right. But I think that record was better than this one. This one is a step down, and it's an average album, but it's not one of the strongest records. Will be on my decent to good albums of 2024 by the end of the year. So if I were to give this its deserved score, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 for Seether. The surface seems so far. I was highly expecting this to be good, like really good, and came to a conclusion where I'm like, yeah, some of the songs seem samey and not in a good way. I'm kind of disappointed in Seether in this one, because this seemed a little too try-hard. Like they were trying to make a strong Seether record. And keep in mind, the screams were really good through this record. That's the one positive I will give credit where it's due to Seether. It made some of the songs sound good. But then there was other tracks from this record, like Walls Come Down, Paint the World, Same Mistakes, Dead on the Vine, and Regret. Those ones, they were alright, but could have been better. But other than that, 7.5 out of 10 for Seether's new record, The Surface Seems So Far. I hope you enjoyed this album review this afternoon, and thanks for watching.